Hey everyone, welcome back to Pop Off English, the fun podcast to learn real English. If you're new here, I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends who want to improve their English. It really helps our channel grow and lets us make more cool episodes for you.
Today we have a great topic. It's a small word, but a powerful word. The word is would.
Yeah, would is everywhere in English. In movies, in songs, in real conversations. If you understand would, you sound more natural and more confident.
In this episode, we'll show you many ways to use would, with super simple examples, easy vocabulary, and funny little stories. And of course, with me and Leo being totally normal and not weird at all.
I don't know about not weird, but okay. Let's begin. First, would is often about something that is not real now. It's about imaginary situations, things in your mind, in your dreams, or in a different reality.
Exactly. Listen to this. I say, I would live on the beach if I had a lot of money. Do I have a lot of money now? No. Do I live on the beach now? No. It's just an imaginary situation. I'm dreaming.
So when you say I would live on the beach if I had a lot of money, you are talking about a different world, not the real world now.
So here is the structure. It's very common. I would plus verb plus if plus past simple. For example, I would travel around the world if I had time. I would buy a new phone if it was cheaper.
And remember, we usually say would, like D. For example, I'd live on the beach. I'd travel around the world. But in this episode, we'll say would clearly, so it's easier for you to hear.
Let's give more fun examples with would for imaginary situations. Leo, your turn. Dream big.
All right? I would eat pizza every day if it was healthy. I would have a pet dragon if that was possible. I would wake up at 5 a.m. every day if I was a superhero.
Wow, a pet dragon. Good luck feeding that. Let me try. I would speak 10 languages if my brain was a computer. I would wear pajamas to work if it was accepted. I would live on a spaceship if it was comfortable.
So when you want to talk about a dream life or something different from your real life, would is your friend. Now, would is also very useful for polite offers and polite requests.
Yes, you can sound much more polite and friendly with would. For example, would you like some coffee? Would you like to sit here? Would you like to go out this weekend?
It's like, do you want, but more polite. So, do you want some coffee? Is okay. Would you like some coffee? Is softer, nicer.
Listen to this small dialogue.
Would you like some tea?
Yes, I would. Thank you. Very simple and very natural.
You can also say, I would like to talk about what you want in a polite way. For example, I would like a salad, please. I would like a ticket to London. I would like to book a table for 2.
So if you're in a restaurant and you want to sound polite, you can say, I would like the chicken, please, instead of, give me the chicken. Please don't say, give me the chicken to the waiter.
Yeah, don't attack the chicken. Use would like. It's nicer. Now, another common use is for polite questions or requests. For example, would you help me? Would you open the window? Would you send me the email?
These are very good for work, for school, or when you want to be respectful. And the answer can be, yes, I would. Or, no, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't is would not. For example, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't eat that strange blue sandwich.
I don't know, maybe the blue sandwich is delicious. Another important use of would is to talk about the past, about habits in the past.
This is a really cool one. When you talk about things you did regularly before, but you don't do them now, you can use would, like this. When I was a child, I would play outside every day. When we lived in Spain, we would eat dinner at 10 p.m.
So in these sentences, would is similar to used to. For example, when I was a child, I used to play outside every day. When I was a child, I would play outside every day. Both are possible, and the idea is that it was a habit in the past, but not now.
Another example. Every summer, my family would go to the same beach. On Sundays, my grandfather would tell us stories. When I was in high school, my friends and I would stay up very late.
Notice something important. When we use would for past habits, we usually give a time in the past. When I was a child, when we lived in Spain, every summer, on Sundays, when I was in high school.
Without that, it can be confusing. So it's nice to have that time expression to show that we are talking about the past.
Now, would can also be used to talk about something you refused to do in the past. For example, when I was a teenager, I would not clean my room. Or, when I was a teenager, I wouldn't clean my room.
That's a very realistic example. Another one. As a kid, I wouldn't eat vegetables. It was winter, and my car wouldn't start.
Careful with that last one. My car wouldn't start means my car refused to start, it didn't start. It's not about my car in the future or something. It's just a way to say it refused. It didn't want to.
So would can show a kind of resistance in the past. He wouldn't listen. She wouldn't help. The door wouldn't open.
Now, another big use of would is to talk about hypothetical situations in the future, like plans or ideas that are not real yet. For example, I would go to your party, but I have an exam tomorrow. I would watch the movie, but I'm too tired.
Here, would shows something that you want, but there is a problem, so you don't do it. You can also use would with if again. I would call her if I had her number. I would help you if I had more time. I would buy it if it was cheaper.
So this is similar to before, but now it can be about the present or the future. It's like, in this situation, my action would be different.
Think about it like this. Real situation. I don't have money. Result. I don't buy the car. Imaginary situation with would. If I had money, I would buy the car.
Would also appears a lot when you talk about your opinion in an indirect way. For example, I would say this restaurant is pretty good. I would call this a success. I would consider that a big problem.
This is a soft way to give an opinion. It's less direct than this restaurant is good. It's more like, in my opinion, in my view.
Also, you can use I would when you give advice in a soft, friendly way. For example, if I were you, I would study a little every day. If I were you, I would talk to my boss. If I were you, I would take a break.
If I were you is a very common phrase. It means, imagine I am you in your situation. My choice, my action would be this.
So if your friend is sad and tired, you can say, if I were you, I would sleep early tonight. It's a polite suggestion, not a command.
All right, now let's show would in a little story so you can hear it in context. Story time.
Once upon a time, Leo was a very lazy student.
Hey, that's not a story, that's a documentary.
All right. Once upon a time, Leo was a very lazy student. Every day, he would wake up late, he would check his phone for 1 hour, he would eat breakfast very slowly, and, of course, he would arrive late to class.
This sounds too real. One day, his teacher said, Leo, if you arrived on time, you would understand the lesson better. If you studied a little, you would pass all your exams.
Leo thought, if I passed all my exams, I would make my parents happy. I would also be less stressed. I would feel proud of myself.
So, Leo decided to change. He said, from tomorrow, I would like to wake up earlier. I would like to be a responsible student. I would like to have better grades.
The next morning, his alarm rang at 6:30, but his brain wouldn't wake up. His eyes wouldn't open. His body wouldn't move.
True story. But finally he got up, and slowly he changed his habits. In the past, he would always leave homework for the last minute. Now, he starts earlier. In the past, he would always say, I'll do it tomorrow. Now he says, I'll do it today.
And if you ask Leo now, what would you do differently if you went back to school? He would say, I would study more and play fewer video games. I would listen more in class. I would ask more questions.
Yeah, that's true. So in that story, you heard would for past habits. He would wake up late. He would arrive late to class. Imaginary situations. If you arrived on time, you would understand the lesson. Wishes, I would like to wake up earlier. Things that refuse to work. His eyes wouldn't open.
Let's play a small game now. I will say a sentence with would, and Leo will explain what kind of would it is. Then we'll switch.
Okay, let's do it.
Sentence 1. When we were kids, we would play football in the street every evening.
That's would for past habits.
Sentence 2. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house for my parents.
That's would for an imaginary situation, a dream, not real.
Sentence 3. Would you like some dessert?
Polite offer.
Sentence 4. If I were you, I would talk to her.
That is would for giving advice in a soft way.
Great. Now your turn. You say the sentences, I explain.
Sentence 1. Every winter, my hands would get really cold.
Past habits again.
Sentence 2. I would travel more, but I don't have enough vacation days.
So that's would for something you want to do, but there is a problem.
Sentence 3. Would you help me move this table?
Polite request.
Sentence 4. When I was a child, I wouldn't talk to strangers.
That's would not to show something you refused to do in the past.
Perfect. Now, some learners confuse will and would. Let's make that clear with simple examples.
Will is usually for the real future, something you really think will happen. For example, I will call you tonight. I will study after dinner. It will rain tomorrow.
Would is usually for something more imaginary, or more polite, or more conditional. For example, I would call you, but my phone is dead. I would study, but I'm very tired. It would be nice to have a day off.
Listen to the difference. I will buy that shirt means you plan to do it. I would buy that shirt if it was cheaper means you want it, but the price is a problem.
Another example. I will help you. I'm really going to help you. I would help you if I had time. I want to help, but I don't have time.
And with questions, will you come to the party? Normal question about the future. Would you come to the party if you were free? Now it's more imaginary, conditional.
Also, would you like sounds more polite than will you in many situations. For example, would you like some water is nicer than will you take some water in a restaurant.
Now let's give you some very useful would phrases that you can start using today in your English.
Number 1. I would like. For example, I would like a coffee, please. I would like to make a reservation. I would like to learn more English.
Number 2. Would you like? For example, would you like some water? Would you like to sit here? Would you like to join us?
Number 3. If I were you, I would. For example, if I were you, I would talk to him. If I were you, I would take that job. If I were you, I would relax and not worry.
Number 4. I would go, but. For example, I would go, but I'm busy. I would help, but I don't know how. I would stay longer, but I have work tomorrow.
Number 5, that would be great. You can use this when something sounds like a good idea. For example, a friend says, I can help you with your homework. You say, that would be great.
Or, can I bring you some food? That would be amazing. So, that would be great / amazing / nice / helpful is a very natural answer.
Now let's finish with a small, simple conversation using a lot of would. Listen carefully.
Leo, what would you do if you had 1 free month and a lot of money?
I would travel to Japan. I would eat a lot of sushi, and I would visit anime shops every day. What about you? What would you do?
I would probably go to a quiet beach. I would read books all day, and I would sleep a lot. That would be perfect.
Would you like to learn surfing?
Yes, I would. But I think the ocean would be angry with me. The waves wouldn't be very friendly.
When I was younger, I would go to the beach every summer with my family. We would swim, we would play volleyball, and at night we would eat ice cream.
That sounds really nice. If I were you, I would go back there again this year.
That would be a good idea.
In this little conversation, we used, what would you do if I would travel? That would be perfect. Would you like? We would swim, we would play for past habits. If I were you, I would.
Try to notice would when you watch movies or listen to songs. Every time you hear it, think, is it for a dream situation, a polite question, a past habit, advice? This will help you understand the feeling of would.
And you don't need to be perfect. You can start with just a few phrases. I would like. Would you like? If I were you, I would. These 3 already make your English sound more natural and polite.
If this episode helped you understand would, don't forget to subscribe to Pop Off English, like this video, and share it with a friend who is also learning English.
You can also leave a comment with 1 sentence using would. For example, I would travel to, or when I was a child, I would. We love reading your sentences.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Keep practicing, keep listening, and your English would get better and better.
See you in the next episode of Pop Off English.
Bye, everyone.